Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And today we're diving deep into one of the most electrifying mages in all of Hero Wars, Alliance, Lars, the legendary Lord of Storms. Known for his devastating synergy with his sister Krista and his ability to control entire battlefields with lightning and storms, Lars has always been a fan-favorite hero for both offense and clever strategy. In this full guide, we'll break down everything you need to know about him, his skills, items of rank, skins, glyphs, artifacts, gift of the elements, talismans, and of course, how to effectively counter him. So get ready, because this is going to be shocking. Let's begin with his skills, where Lars's identity as the Storm Lord truly shines. His ultimate ability, Lord of the Storm, is iconic. Lars summons a massive storm at the backline of the enemy team, dragging foes right into the storm's eye and applying his signature mark of water to each one. The power of this skill depends directly on Lars's magic attack stat, so the higher his magic attack, the more devastating the result. This isn't just raw damage, it's battlefield manipulation. By grouping enemies together, Lars opens them up to devastating follow-up crowd control and area damage. For example, when paired with heroes like Jorgen, who can stop enemies from gaining energy, or Arachne, whose demolition robot paralyzes enemies, Lord of the Storm becomes even deadlier. And of course, the most famous combo is with his sister Krista. If Krista lays down frozen needles right before Lars drags everyone together, the storm pulls enemies straight onto icy spikes, multiplying the damage. It's one of the most satisfying synergies in the entire game. Moving to his second skill, Chain Lightning. This one launches an electrical charge that bounces between enemies, hitting them one by one. The damage here also scales with Lars's magic attack, making it effective against weakened enemies or teams with lower health pools. It's especially brutal when enemies are already grouped by his storm, because the chain effect maximizes the reach of every strike. When Krista is by his side protecting him, Lars can safely spam this skill, cutting down enemies in sequence like dominoes. His third skill, Lightning Bolt, is where Lars really begins to show his control capabilities. He strikes the nearest enemy with a massive bolt of lightning, dealing heavy magic damage and stunning them for 4 seconds. Enemies marked with the mark of water are prioritized, so this ability becomes even more dangerous in synergy with his first skill. The stun buys time for Lars's allies to unleash their attacks, or it can stop a dangerous enemy carry right in their tracks. That control element makes Lars far more than just a damage dealer, he becomes a battlefield disruptor. Finally, his fourth skill, Conductance. This passive makes all of Lars's attacks against enemies with a mark of water more damaging and extends the duration of stuns. The more marks spread across the enemy team, the stronger Lars becomes. And remember, Krista's skills spread marks of water everywhere, creating a storm-fueled feedback loop. Pairing this with other heroes who manipulate shields or extend control effects, like Polaris or Judge, creates a chain reaction of stuns, paralysis, and damage that leaves the enemy helpless. So, when it comes to skills, Lars is a combination of disruption, control, and synergy. He's not just about raw magic damage, his true value comes from how he manipulates enemy positioning, and amplifies the effects of his allies. Now, let's look at how to build Lars properly. He is a mage hero, belongs to the Way of Chaos faction, and stands safely in the backline. But don't let that backline positioning fool you, without the right build, Lars can easily be taken down. For items of rank, your focus should be on stacking magic penetration and magic attack. Early on, prioritize items like the Funeral Totem, Traitor's Crown, and Tome of Fate in the violet rankings. As you push into the orange ranks, you'll want Elephant Guard, the Staff of Neutralization, and the Light of Distant Stars. At orange +3 or +4, Lars becomes a powerhouse with a solid balance between damage output and survivability. These items give him the ability to not just deal damage but bypass enemy magic defense, which is crucial against resilient magic-resistant tanks. Next, skins. Lars currently has 6 skins: his default skin, 2 magic attack skins, one of them with A+ version, a magic penetration skin, a health skin, and an armor skin. If you want him to shine, prioritize them in this order. First, his second magic attack skin, the plus version. This immediately boosts the power of his ultimate, Chain Lightning, and Lightning Bolt. Next is his magic penetration skin, because without penetration, all that raw damage is wasted against enemies with high resistance. After that, focus on his health skin to keep him alive longer. Survivability is critical for a backline mage. Then, return to his other magic attack skin, since stacking even more damage only makes his storms deadlier. After that, the default skin for balanced scaling, and finally the armor skin for physical matchups. In the future, if Lars ever gets another skin in magic penetration or health, that instantly becomes your top priority. For glyphs, the path is clear. Start with magic penetration. This allows him to immediately punch through defenses and deal real damage even against tanky foes. Second, focus on health. Lars is fragile, so every bit of survivability you can add matters. Third, magic attack to directly scale his skill power. Fourth, magic defense, because even though his intelligence already grants him natural magic resistance, more defenses mean longer survivability against mage-heavy teams. Last comes intelligence, which boosts his overall stats but is less impactful compared to direct survivability and penetration. Raise them all to level 40 for efficiency unless you're aiming for skill class progression. On to artifacts. Lars's weapon artifact gives magic penetration to the entire team whenever he casts his ultimate. His book artifact boosts his own magic penetration and magic attack, while his ring artifact boosts intelligence. The priority order is his book first. It's a massive amplifier for his skills. Second is his ring, since intelligence feeds into multiple stats at once. Last is his weapon artifact, because while sharing penetration is useful, it's less impactful than strengthening Lars's own stats. Next, the gift of the elements. This one is simple: max it out. You need every boost to magic attack and survivability. Without strong stats from the elements, Lars will crumble before he can make an impact. For talismans, Lars has 2 strong options. The first gives intelligence and magic attack, which is ideal for amplifying his skill damage. The second gives magic attack and armor, which offers more defense while still stacking damage. The first talisman is VIP, and harder to acquire, while the second is more accessible. Either way, both are excellent and make Lars significantly stronger, but he can still perform well if you focus on building his core stats properly. Finally, how do you counter this Stormbringer? Several heroes are key. Anvari is one of the strongest answers, as his living earth prevents allies from being displaced, neutralizing Lars's ultimate. Dorian is another interesting counter. If Lars drags everyone near him, his vampirism aura heals them, turning the storm into a healing opportunity. Cleaver can hook Lars to the front line, making him vulnerable. Chu can target Lars as the furthest enemy, and rip through him. Jorgen slows Lars down by stealing energy, delaying his ultimate. Rufus, as a magic-resistant tank, can block his damage almost entirely. Cornelius is devastating. With heavy wisdom targeting intelligence, he can one-shot Lars. Iris reduces Lars's attack stats whenever he applies a mark of water, cutting his damage potential. And Phobos, with his anti-mage toolkit, is perhaps Lars's worst nightmare, draining his energy, stunning him, and locking him down. So Guardians, Lars is a hero who thrives on synergy and control. Alone, he's dangerous, but with the right allies, he becomes a storm that wipes out entire teams. Built properly, he can dominate the battlefield, but with the right counters, he can be stopped in his tracks. And that wraps up our deep dive into Lars, the Lord of Storms. What do you think of him? Do you use him in your teams, or do you prefer to counter him instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we always enjoy hearing your experiences. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Olympus Alliance, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the latest Hero Wars, Alliance strategies. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.